Oh, fired up. Yeah, we're here. That's right. We're back. As always, I've got my amazing crew with me. Starting off, he's a warrior. He's a ninja. He's an American. He's an American ninja warrior. Mr. Jordan Fox, welcome to the show.
How's it going? How's it going?
Doing good, doing good. Right above you over here, right next to you, is a man that says he's going to be as yoked as you before we know it. And I heard a rumor that we're going to be filming this and we're going to be following his transformation, I guess you could say. And I don't know if it's a bigger project for him or if it's a bigger project for you at this point. But Mr. Jonathan Guerrero, welcome to the show.
What's up?
And last but not least, whew, a man that the only person on this set that I can definitely say is the only man that's been serenaded by Lionel Richie with me. Not many people I could say has done that with me in my past. So for that, Mr. Joey Clax, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, pal.
Oh, yeah, anytime. You're swell. NBA basketball has been pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie. This bubble's been great. Playoffs have been great. I watched a game today. You would think I'd want to start in LA with the Lakers, but I actually want to go right into the Clippers and the Mavericks. What a series. We're tied up now. Boy, Luka came to play. His triple-double numbers are ridiculous. I mean, Westbrook put up some ridiculous numbers a couple of years ago with his triple-doubles every game, but these are out-of-this-world numbers. He didn't have Porzingis today. He took the day off for his pinky toe or something. Unbelievable. Jordan, what's your take on what Luka did today?
Honestly, Luka is clearly showing that when he's needed, he's at his best. When he's the guy that they fall on, that's when he comes to play. He's truly able to do anything and everything as necessary to win for his team with whoever's around him. And the beautiful thing is his teammates are stepping up. Seth Curry is doing his thing. Hardaway Jr. is doing his thing. And it really came off as, we definitely would love to have Porzingis, but we don't necessarily need him. And it's impressive.
Do you think they need him to win the series, Porzingis, though? I think they do, without a doubt. They can't win the series without Porzingis.
I mean, I think they can, but it helps.
One more question for you before I pass this on to Clax. Is Luka the best player in this series on the court?
No.
Is he the second best player?
Yes.
So you think you got Kawhi above him still?
Yeah.
What if Luka takes him out and outplays him, outstats him in the playoffs, knocks Kawhi out in the first round? Does Luka step up above Kawhi to you at that point going into next year?
No.
Wow. Joey Clax, do you think the Mavericks could pull off this upset? Can they take out the Clippers in the first round here?
You asked me that this morning, I'd say absolutely not. But after watching that game today, I mean, Luka's for real, ain't he? I mean, Luka took that game over today, and they're hot right now, man. Like you said, I don't think they could do it without Zingis, and he's coming back. So I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance. I didn't think there was a chance, but you're asking me that right now. I think there's a chance.
And
yeah.
How did Luka not get into the MVP voting for the? I still don't understand. 29-10-9 is not good enough to be in the finals for MVP. I don't get it.
We discussed it. I believe Jordan stated it was record.
Record, yeah. Now look what's happening. Yeah, see, record can't just go by record. That dude's a stud. John, you think they could pull it off?
I mean, I'd have to check back. I forgot the score in the last game. It was a close game today, so it's hard. I mean, he has to play that level for the rest of the series. It's going to be very difficult. It's possible, nothing's impossible, but I don't think it's going to be tough.
You know what?
I'm going to go with
the Pelicans winning the championship here. That's impossible.
Agreed. That's literally impossible unless you had like the Avengers Infinity Rings and you go back in time. Yes, it's impossible, but unless he can play like that the rest of the series, which is going to be tough, they definitely can, but I don't think he can will it out on his own like that.
I think he could. I think with Porzingis' help, I think not having home court advantage, because there is no home court advantage anymore. They're just balling like it's a schoolyard now. And Kawhi looks good. He doesn't look like a top 5 player in the league to me, honestly, when I'm watching.
The Clippers look sleepy a little bit.
He looks good, but they just I don't know, Jordan. He doesn't look it to me. He looks good. He's an all-star, but he doesn't look like top tier. He doesn't look like Lillard looks right now. He doesn't look like he doesn't. He doesn't look that to me. He doesn't look like Luka.
Think he's not playing to his potential, or he just isn't that good overall?
Oh,
He's not playing like lights out Leonard defense. Like he's not. Is he?
I don't know what you're seeing, man.
I'm seeing a series that should be 3-1 or maybe worse without Porzingis, but Leonard's not stepping up, and they got Paul George. Look at that tandem. The two of those guys.
Okay, now we're talking. Don't put it on Kawhi.
Okay, cool. Kawhi Leonard.
14.
Kawhi Leonard, 9 boards, 4 assists, 32 points. Paul George, 45 minutes, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 points.
3 for 14.
Yeah, no, garbage. I'm not saying that. I mean,
Why-
Instantly garbage.
Let's put the blame where it's due.
Thank you.
I'm
yeah.
Mr. Paul George.
I don't take it away. It's all on Paul George right now. Absolutely. But
Let's not talk about
Kawhi
Paul.
Leonard is this top 5 player. Carry your team. Look at Luka carried his team.
Okay, so when Luka's going off,
Why can't Kawhi go off?
32.
Why
I
can't
would say
Kawhi
those.
stop
I
him?
would say those numbers are the
32
best.
points,
he did.
dude.
Why didn't Kawhi stop him?
He wasn't guarding him.
Why not? Why did he not guard the best player on the team if you're the best defensive player in the world? Why wouldn't he guard Luka?
And they switched.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That's basketball. There's always pick and rolls. Come on. You guard him, man. You guard him. Stick on him like glue.
Off the inbound pass. And you're also forgetting and neglecting that who had the ball at the end when it was 132 to 130. Clippers were down 2. Kawhi drove. He did the fake pass to Paul George, which I don't know why you want him to pass it to Paul George. They respected the fake pass. Hit Morris in the corner, 3, 133, 132. Hey, the game-winning assist at the time.
It would have been, but then
Yeah, and then before
Luka
that, he was
right.
hitting, mid-range after mid-range.
So is Paul George that other stud defensive player on the team? Right? He's all defense.
He's not a stud.
But he's not a stud because guess what? No one could cover Luka. That's what my point was. He didn't even have his number 2. His number 2 is not even the best player in his own family, Seth Curry. I mean, come on now. I mean, he had a number 2 for a brother. So I mean, no, I don't. Nope. I think it's coming down to 7 games. I think the Clippers should win because Kawhi Leonard should be the top 5 player in the world and should lead his team to victory. If he doesn't, he's not top 5 in the world to me anymore. Sorry, I can pick 5 players above him. And I'll get that list to you once they lose. But until then, he's still top 5. So there's no reason to even go into that. What about that other team in LA? Lakers? John? LA's finest? You want to tell us what you think about this series here? You think they're going to pull away now? Lillard and his dislocated finger? And what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean Lillard still did pretty well last game. And even Melo did decent. But when AD and LeBron are on, AD and LeBron were not on game 1. You look at those numbers, and they only won by 7 in game 1. If you look at those numbers and you've watched the last 2 games, you see that LeBron and AD just have to do decent, and we're going to beat them pretty easily.
Wait, LeBron decent? LeBron had himself a night.
No.
I'm saying they have to do decent.
What was that?
LeBron and AD had themselves a night.
Oh, AD's been having himself nice.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron decided
They both
to
did.
come through and put up the stats.
But nobody else from our bench does anything, which is scary. And all 3 games, none of them have really done anything. But the first game definitely killed us. Watching LeBron and AD both miss free throws constantly. I mean, even game 3 it happened.
That's
Just
LeBron.
missed
Doesn't hit
opportunities.
free throws, man. LeBron doesn't hit clutch free throws ever. So that's nothing new.
AD is 80% field goal rate, and he has been missing them too. So it's been really frustrating watching that. But I feel a little bit more comfortable even watching Lillard do decently well. We isolate Carmelo's points, and we kind of make them work. We make Lillard have to have a 50-point game. He can't do that all the time against us. If he can't do that, then I think we're going to walk away with this a lot easier than I thought from game one.
So what's your prediction now?
I think I said us in like 7 before.
Us? What team? What? You're on the roster?
Lakers.
Oh, just checking. I didn't have your jersey in my closet. I tried to get it. I couldn't find it. So Lakers in what?
5 or 6.
Which one?
I'm going to say 5 or 6. You heard me when I said it the first time.
Well, that's not an answer. Are they going to win in 5 or are they going to win in 6?
They're going to win in either 5 or 6.
Once again, we're going to have to move on from Jonathan. Jordan, can someone that maybe can actually give me a definitive answer when I ask a question? What are your thoughts on the Lakers right now? Do you see them just pulling away with this and just winning it in either 5 or 6? Or do you, see it maybe going 7, seeing Portland maybe coming back? What are your feelings here?
So I have it down that I said Lakers in 6, 7 is lazy, and they're categorized as lazy. So Lakers in 7.
Lakers in 7.
But I have to root for the Blazers because I'm a Melo fan over LeBron. So I want to be wrong. Write me down for Lakers in 7, but I want to be wrong.
I picked Lakers in 7 too, and I'm actually thinking it might be Lakers in 6.
Me too. But still, I'm
but
sick
but
of
but Skinny Melo might have one more game-winning shot in him and might make it 7. And if it goes 7, I don't know what's going to happen. That's going to be one of the Lillard could go for 60. Who knows?
You can go back to the videotape. I want to say it was episode maybe 2 where Jordan got all upset with me because I said Lillard couldn't win in a 7-game series. And this is exactly why, because he can't put up 60 in every game. And Lakers in 6, and I'm rooting for Lillard, just for the record. But I'm going to tell you my favorite part about the game last night. J.R. Smith's stat line.
Go for it.
9 minutes, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 points.
Consistent.
What was the stat line in game 2?
How many? Wait! But how many personal fouls did he have in that time?
He fouled out.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That sounds about right. What about that other series that we were so excited about? Denver and Utah. And silence, crickets.
I think they're supposed to be playing right now, but everybody just fell asleep. So
they just take a nap. They're going to wake up and they decide to play. They decide to play. Utah's pulling away with that series, it looks like. I'm kind of shocked. I thought Denver really would. I thought Jokic. I thought Murray. My man Bol. I thought they had it, but let me get some Bol in there just while we're here. I really thought they'd win it, but
if that series goes to 7 games and the Mavericks don't go to 7 games, I'm gonna be pissed.
You have to watch that every day. What do you think about the Rock? I don't even want to talk about this series anymore. Let's just move on for a minute.
Please.
It's fun to say Bol though.
Bol. I just brought it up just for the sheer fact of that. The last thing in the West, we have Rockets, Oklahoma City. Now, I still say if Westbrook was there, it's a sweep for the Rockets. I stand behind that statement. Without Westbrook, I had said Rockets in 5. I still personally stand behind Rockets in 5. I know Chris Paul had himself a little night and got them a game. 1 game. You have to win 1 game to make it 5, so that's the game. Clax, you think the Rockets? I remember you telling me that's your team to go all the way in episode 1 of our comeback.
Did you say Rockets in 5? Didn't I say Rockets in 5?
Yeah, I copied you. So what?
All right. No. I'm just making sure we were both on that bandwagon. I'm sticking to it. Listen, I pick winners. That's what I do. So, and they're going all the way. And, yeah.
Rockets at 5.
I really don't have anything else to say about this series. I mean, I'm just, I felt a little shocked that the Thunder won that game yesterday.
No one won without Westbrook.
And then you reminded me that we called them in 5. So
and
there it is.
Way, Clax, what'd you think about Westbrook's attire for the game?
I was very excited to see cut off Iron Maiden shirts on the sidelines. That always makes me
with
happy.
His mask. It says
that always makes me happy.
John, what do you think about this series? You think Oklahoma
But
will win the series?
no, yeah, my pick was Oklahoma, but watching it,
Yeah,
I don't know how they pulled off that game before, but yeah, it's Rockets in 5 for sure.
Wow. So what are we about? 6 days since your last
Wow.
pick? Oklahoma City gonna win. It started. You jumped on our Rockets in 5.
I thought they were gonna do like I would still be, but just watching them each game, it's
They
just
got
not
nobody.
it's not feasible.
No, they
Yeah.
don't have the manpower.
Like I mean, at some point you think like you want to play hard to do it. Like it's just like they're just there to be there, and it's just I expected a lot more out of them, and like watching it, like it's
Why?
I was surprised they won.
Why did you
the last
expect
game.
more of them? I feel like they're in so over their heads because they have a great coach that let them play over their heads, and then once they got to the big dance, you're like, we don't belong here.
Yeah, maybe that was that's probably it. And completely wrong on that one.
Jordan Harden, has he missed the playoffs this year? Is he going to come through?
He's needed in the first round, very much so, with like the least amount of pressure. So, yeah, he will come through. It's really the second round and on where it's really, is Harden going to show up? But at the same time, Westbrook should be there at that point. My prediction is if OKC wins this next game, Harden will be playing in Game 5. I don't think they want to chance that. Pardon me?
You mean Westbrook?
Yes.
Westbrook
Okay.
will play in Game 5.
Yeah,
Okay,
Westbrook will be playing Game 5 if OKC wins Game 4. But
I think
I'm still
they're resting him right now. They're just letting him rest. They're like, we don't need him right now. We'll let him
They
rest.
really don't. But I think if they win Game 4, it's like, okay, you know what? We can't do this. We have to get this going.
Understandable.
Rockets in 6.
Rockets in 6. Okay, so you're pretty much on the same bandwagon as all of us here. The East is a little different. We had an elimination today.
Two.
Yeah,
Two.
2 eliminations. But first, I want to go into this crybaby over here, Joel Embiid. Philadelphia 76ers, by far the biggest disappointment this season. Biggest disappointment last season, even though they made it almost there and they were one Kawhi Leonard bounce away from making it to the finals. But the fact that they got swept the way they did, Celtics made them look like they didn't even belong. And that team was, at the beginning of the season, predicted to be the number 1 or 2 seed going into it. Granted, they were missing their best player, and I stand behind that again. It's not Joel Embiid. He is overrated beyond belief, in my opinion. And I'd love someone to tell me that he's not. He puts up stats when he decides to play. Wow, big deal when he decides to play. I think the team needs to trade him. He said he doesn't know if he should even be on that team anymore, and I agree. They should get rid of him, build around Ben Simmons, trade him for something good. You could get something good for Joel Embiid, I'm pretty sure. And whatever it is, man, it's going to make the team better. I think he actually brings that team down. Jordan, what are your thoughts on A, is Embiid need to go? And B, does their coach Brent Brown need to go? Because he's not getting to them at this point. He might be a great coach, but he's not getting through them anymore. And they need to start over, in my opinion. Trust in the process. It's over. Process is over. Jordan, what do you think?
Well, first off, I heard you say they were the disappointment this year, disappointment last year, disappointment the year before that. If you're a disappointment for, a certain amount of years, it sounds like consistency. I'm not surprised. That's just who you are. But I personally I'd rather trade Ben Simmons, get something out of him because he's better. You can get more things. You can work around Embiid. That's what I would do. And I would fire the coach. I don't think they will fire the coach. And that's where I'm at. I would love to hear what you have to say.
Ben Simmons? Did you
Yes.
see the guy balling out before? He's a 6'11" point guard that you could put him at power forward or center, or you could put him at point guard, who's a top 5 defensive player in the league. Not to mention maybe a top 5 passing playmaker. He cannot shoot. I know that for a fact.
That's pretty valuable to me.
Yeah, it's very valuable.
Yeah.
But
I get a lot for him.
But you can get a lot for Embiid too, probably. But you also can't build a championship team around Embiid, and you could build one around Ben Simmons, in my opinion.
Debatable.
Very debatable. That's why
I would definitely rather trade Ben, though, personally.
and build around Embiid.
Yes. We'll build around whatever I'm getting
Hurt
back.
Embiid that can't practice and is always out of shape and gets tired in the fourth quarter of every game. I don't want that guy. Although Ben Simmons gets hurt constantly too. So, I mean, John, what do you think? Should they get rid of Embiid? Should they get rid of their coach? What do you think they should do here? What do the 76ers need to do moving into next season?
I mean, I don't know. Like you're talking about this, but why don't we talk about, did the 76ers lose themselves, or are we forgetting about Boston here? Like, how do you feel about Boston? I thought Boston played really well. We're discrediting Boston because we're shitting all over the Sixers. Like, I think Boston played really great. I think they're going to go a lot further than I expected. But like, why don't we talk about the team that won the series?
Because I think it's more of a disappointment for the Sixers getting eliminated in the first round after they've been trajectory trying to go up than it is for the Celtics to win in the first round. It's not a surprise.
You called them. I think most of us called the Sixers to lose in the first round. So why is anybody surprised?
Because they came into the season as the number 1 or number 2 ranked team after the Bucks.
I don't know how they were number 2.
Because they had a starting 5 on paper that looked like it was supposed to be pretty snazzy. But honestly,
potential.
But I mean, like all 4 of us predicted Boston
last year. They were
win.
in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm saying, like, all 4 of us predicted Boston to win, and we're sitting here acting like we're surprised that they lost, or that the Sixers lost.
Well, I'm not surprised that they lost. I just think that it was just a sign. I mean, we were talking about they needed to break this team up. I was, at least before the playoffs started, because they're not going to win with this team. And they're not going to win with that coach, with this team. Now, I don't think any team is going to win with Embiid as your number 1 player. So unless they're getting someone for Ben Simmons that's way better than Embiid, they're never going to win. Now, they can get someone that's equal to Embiid or worse and still win with Ben Simmons, in my opinion, because I think Ben Simmons is one of those playmakers. And the way the league is set right now, you need someone like a Ben Simmons way more than you need a 7-foot center that, yes, he can shoot threes, but he's also, you don't know when he's going to be ready to play. Clax, what do you think?
I think that Brett Brown's probably fired already, and somebody should throw a D battery at his head, and I hate Philly sports, and this makes me happy. That's what I think. I think that I hope he's crying at the Rocky statue right now. That's what I think.
Well, what about Bucks and Magic, John? Your Magic, are they going to do it? You think 8-1? Can we get this upset or no? You're not feeling it anymore?
No. I mean, the first game was good, but the Bucks are going to pull it out, and then lose in the second round.
Oh, okay. We got
Sticking to them guns.
Sticking to it, and if they don't lose in the second round, they're definitely losing in the third round, guys.
Hell yeah.
There's not really much to talk about. I think the Bucks are going to roll through the series. I think we all pretty much think that at this point.
Bucks in 6.
6? Clax? What do you think?
Bucks in 6.
Okay, and then the Raptors today, they eliminated the Nets, which is no surprise.
What a series.
They put up 150 points in regulation today. It doesn't usually happen every day.
When Fred VanVleet is dropping half-court shots, I mean, it's just everything's going your way.
Why is no one talking about them as like a leading candidate to win the championship this year?
That's all I got.
Champions. And here's my Kawhi Leonard thing. I mean, they seem better without Kawhi, and they're the same team other than that. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe the competition's not as good. We can go there. But, Jordan, what are your thoughts?
I'm very intrigued with how good they're playing. I think the most interesting Eastern Conference series will be Celtics-Raptors. That's going to say everything. I think the winner of that series is going to the championship. It's not really a hot take, but that's what I'm thinking.
So you're the second guy that's saying the Bucks definitely losing in the second or third round.
I say they're going to lose in. I have to say the championship. I can't say the second. That's awful. That's pathetic. Just like the best record. Like I can't. I hate that. I don't want to see a Peyton Manning type season. Just best ever, killer records, regular season, then just swept.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I think is going to end up happening to them. I think Giannis.
Yeah, I'll go I'm gonna go Bucks Raptors.
Bucks Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Heat Pacers? Heat get no love. I'm telling you. I told you when we went into this series, I said Heat in 5. I said Heat are going to come out strong without Sabonis. The Pacers will not be able to keep up. Jimmy Butler is nasty. Bam Adebayo is nasty. And who did I tell you is my new favorite shooter in the league? Duncan Robinson. He just comes out firing. Joey Clax. I know you love Jimmy Butler.
I hate Jimmy Butler's face, dude, but it's my new prediction is the Heat are going to sweep them.
I think there's a very good chance. They just need to win one.
That's the Heat are going to sweep them. They're going to win that next game.
John, what do you think about that series? Do they think anything Pacers have anything left? No.
No, I was completely wrong about that. And you know who's been my stud on the Heat? I mean, it's not a surprise that Dragic has been killing it. Dude is on fire. And Jimmy Butler has a lot of options to go to, and then when we need Jimmy or when they need Jimmy, they go to him.
Wait.
Like the
Did the Lakers trade you to the Heat? Did I miss this?
Talking about when the Heat need people to go to, Jimmy can pass, and then when they need Jimmy, they go to him. But Goran Dragic he was good when he was here in the Suns in Arizona, and he's a stud, and they have a solid team.
Do you know what the common denominator in all these teams that are winning is? Their coaches are amazing. Spoelstra is amazing. Nick Nurse in Toronto is amazing. Rick Carlisle in Dallas is an amazing head coach. Even the
Jason
Lakers.
Kidd is the assistant coach, Lakers.
Who?
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd, future head coach of who? Is it going to be the Pelicans, or is he going to be the head coach of the – who's going to be the head coach of 76ers? Just might be.
I would trade Embiid if that happens.
Hey, speaking of champions, but you said Embiid. We know he's not a champion. I heard there was some European championship going on out there. Do you want to give us a little insight for us Americans that might not know what's going on in the world?
Yes. So on Friday and on Sunday, Friday was the Europa League championship, and on Sunday was the Champions League championship. So Europa League is if you're the 4th or 5th best team at the end of the season, you're considered, we qualify to be in the Europa League. So basically the 4th or 5th team in Spain, Germany, France, Poland, all that are in one league. You play, and then at the end it's a championship, right? So it was Inter Milan playing Sevilla. Inter Milan, as you know, that's Italy. Sevilla is Spain. And first time ever, a gentleman named Romelu Lukaku, my favorite player.
What's his name?
Romelu Lukaku. And this guy is so real, Rock Nation had to sign him. So it's it's The Rock, right? So Romelu Lukaku, within 11 minutes, scored a goal, right? Went into the box, got fouled by this gentleman who I don't even want to speak his name. Gets fouled by a gentleman, PK, good. Lukaku automatic makes it. Then the last 15 minutes of this game, set piece for Sevilla. The gentleman's guy who I will not say his name, bicycle kick, hits Lukaku in the foot, own goal. Sevilla wins the game.
He scored his own goal to lose the game?
He was trying to kick it out, and first time in Europa League history, someone scored a goal and your own goal, same game.
That is as bad as it gets.
No, and then that was it. And so then earlier today.
And then Rock Nation cut him?
Oh, no, you can't cut Romelu.
I don't know. You score your own goal and lose a championship, that might be cut-worthy right there. They might cut his foot off for that out there. Who knows? It's crazy.
He scored, 9 goals in the past 7 games. I mean, they'll forgive him.
Is he better than our American boy out there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's different. But Bayern played PSG. Neymar, we talked about that man's contract is pretty serious. So Bayern, the whole starting 11 is worth about $105 million. Neymar's doubled that. and Bayern just took him to school,
Where did he
1-0.
come from? Barcelona?
Yeah, came from Barcelona, right? Bayern smacked them 8-2, 2 weeks ago, and so. Yeah, what was it? Let's see, 43 goals in 11 matches for the whole Champions League season. Second all time, 2 away from the record. So pretty good.
Not bad.
But that's it for my little, football segment. But
We appreciate you
Lukaku
catching us
certainly.
up. We needed the class on this show. We needed that Euro spice. So I appreciate it. From there, let's transfer to another champion. This one is in the Major League Baseball. He's a personal favorite of Joey Clark's. I'm going to throw his picture up here because he just got designated for assignment today, which means he basically got cut from his team. It's going to upset him a little bit. That was his reaction. Hunter Pence. By the San Francisco Giants.
Wow.
That's all. That was his reaction. If you're watching on our YouTube, you can see the face of him when he knew he got cut. He's shocked. Joey Clark is not happy. He will not go to any more San Francisco Giant games this year.
What?
I know.
Hunter Pence got cut.
I know.
Why would Hunter Pence get cut?
I don't know. Maybe because he milk warm in his cereal. I don't know. I just don't know.
Is that it for him? He was DH for them basically, and he wasn't doing well. Who's gonna, like, if you're on the Giants at this point as a veteran, where are you gonna go from there?
You could go DH.
Maybe the Mets.
No, the Mets aren't playing. They got COVID, so Mets aren't playing. We're done. Cespedes was right. He knew the team was going to get COVID and said, I got to get out sooner than later. Now it all makes sense, apparently. No, he was an all-star last year for the Texas Rangers. Let's not forget that. He was an all-star. Matt Kemp is still out there smacking home runs for the Colorado Rockies right now. So you know what? There's a team in the American League, maybe the Rangers. I don't know. Maybe the Oakland A's can use him as a backup DH. I don't know. There's a team out there. The Boston Red Sox could probably use him.
The Rangers need some love from the baseball gods right now.
Yeah. No. Let us keep winning before you give them love, please.
I'd like to bring up another player that I know Jordan was probably going to mention, but he's batting .373 right now. He's hitting home runs. He's stealing bases. He's playing MVP baseball in the outfield for the Seattle Mariners, Mr. Kyle Lewis. Stud player. I mean, I know he was a first-round pick. I know everyone kind of knew it was there, but I don't think anyone saw it coming out this fast, this aggressive. Jordan, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I know you're excited about him, but did you think he's going to sustain this?
Well, I do recall you in your fantasy baseball league trading for him because of all the hype that I gave him, and it seemed like it was all the Seattle craziness, and then he hit a little bit of reality. Ironically, right when you had him, and you got a little bit nervous. I was like, "Oh, just give it time. He's really that guy." And the next thing you know, my man's hitting again. I mean, John saw it with the Dodgers, how he was doing against them, and I think the man's the real deal. This is who he is.
What do the? I mean,
yeah, I was. I was texting. I don't get a lot of chance to watch the Mariners play, and I luckily got to see them play these 4 games against the Dodgers. And Kyle Lewis, he's legit. They have a good young team. They have a good veteran leader in Kyle Seager.
Kyle Seager. Why do you gotta call out? No. I'm not letting you call out Kyle Seager. No. Why? Because he's the brother of Corey Seager, the shortstop on the Dodgers? No, not Kyle Seager as a leader. No one ever says Kyle Seager the leader. I mean, Jordan,
who's the leader of the Mariners then? Who's the leader of the Mariners then?
Kyle Lewis.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
It was Felix Hernandez, and it was Ichiro before that. But they haven't – Seager's been there for 10 years. He hasn't been a leader. This year he's the leader? No. He's the brother of a guy you like. I don't want to hear that. Continue. I'm sorry.
Shut up.
He's a good voice, but Lewis is the leader.
Yeah, Lewis is the leader right now. And eventually it's going to be Kelenic, the guy the Mets traded all our good players from. One other team that's doing pretty amazing right now in that same division, the NL West, is the Padres, and they're led by Fernando Tatis. Every day I get a text from you guys that they hit another grand slam in San Diego. walk-off grand slams, regular grand slams. I mean, it's been unreal. This guy, Fernando Tatis, I like his pops. Clax, you remember watching his pops, Fernando Tatis Sr. for the Cardinals?
I do.
Yeah. Remember he hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning? No one else is going to do that ever in the history of baseball.
No.
They're one of the best stats ever. The 7th inning, too. I remember which inning it was. No one's ever going to do that in the 7th inning either, ever again. But what do you think, John? You think this Padres team can make a run against your Dodgers?
No, but I think they're really great, and I'm really happy that they hit all those grand slams against the Rangers. That was amazing to watch them. The Rangers bitch about him pimping or swinging on a 3-0 strike for the grand slam, and then they hit grand slams in 3 games after that. Like, the Rangers were such babies. I hate the unwritten rules.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's the next topic I was going to say is I'd like to talk about this unwritten rule in baseball. I've been telling you for weeks now, I am so sick of these freaking unwritten rules in baseball. These are things that should be gone 50 years ago, but for some reason these, I call them honky players, because it's the honkies that are really more into this than anything. And I don't understand. I don't believe in beaning people for revenge. Tatis hits a grand slam, so the next guy that comes up gets a ball thrown at his head. I don't understand the logic or the rationale behind taking an object that can not only hurt you, but can probably kill you if it hits you in the wrong place, intentionally at someone. If it happens accidentally, it's like football. Injuries happen. You get hit, it happens. You know, you have someone with their back turned and their face down and you smash them, then it's a little bit different. This is the equivalent to that to me in baseball. It's like having a hockey player. Hey, look, let's take it and try to hit it right at his face. You don't do those things. These unwritten...
Did it go?
What?
Did it go behind Machado's head or behind him? I didn't see the Machado throw at him.
It doesn't matter. He's trying to hit him and send a message. And the message is,
we're
losing by 7 runs. Take it easy on us. That's the message. That's the unwritten rule.
So the pitcher got suspended 3 games. You think it should have been more than that for that?
I would have been fine if it was 5 or 6 games. I would have been totally fine with it because we got to get rid of these stupid unwritten rules. You don't get rid of it with a 2 or 3 game suspension. It doesn't stop him from doing it again. He's a relief pitcher. He might not even pitch the next 2 days. So what does it matter? What they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, we want to, whatever it's called, where they're going to try to fight it. They're going to let him pitch 1 more game, use his arm, and then be like, all right, he's going to sit out 2 games. All right, we'll stop fighting it now and let it go. And it's garbage to me.
Yeah.
Rules, especially when it's about scoring runs. In basketball, you see a team up by 30. That's like saying, oh, no more dunks, no more 3-pointers. You have to only shoot mid-range tough shots because we're losing. It doesn't work that way. Football, yes, you run the ball, but you're going to tell people don't go in the end zone? No, you run the clock out, and you score. And then if the ball – that's just the way sports are. You play until the end of the game. And to tell players in a 7-run game, you can't steal a base. You can't try to go second to home on a single. Like, that's Bush League. Just let the players play to score as many runs to win the game.
I love the support that came out from other players too. Like Trevor Bauer made a big thing. He's like, swing on 3-0, like pimp a home run, do whatever you got to do. Keep the sport exciting because these unwritten rules bring the sport down.
He's right. Bryce Harper's like the same thing. Oh, you can't. You know, why is it okay for a pitcher to end an inning with a strikeout and give a big fist pump? But when a hitter hits a home run and gives a fist pump in the box afterwards, he gets hit or the next guy gets hit. What is that, Clax? Like, I don't understand it.
First of all, if their pitching wasn't garbage, it wouldn't be a 3-0 count, right? Second of all, if everybody's going to start this is everything that's wrong with baseball, right? This is why everybody's so mad at baseball. This is why baseball is
outdated. It's outdated.
It's so outdated. This is why they have the worst commissioner in sports. This is why everyone is sick in baseball. This is why everything is wrong with baseball, period. This is why games end in the 7th inning. This is why there should be a slaughter rule. We might as well go, since we're ending games in the 7th inning like my high school does, we might as well have a mercy rule like my high school does. If somebody's up by 10 runs, just end the game.
I mean, here's some other rules. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Like, and these are rules that people like get beamed for. The ball gets thrown at someone's head in the 90s mile per hour range. For if it's a no-hitter after 5 innings, if you lay down a bunt and try to get a single, that's
any bunt.
It's an unwritten rule. You can't lay down a bunt during a no-hitter to try to get a single and get on.
If the score is 0-0 and you
It's
want to win
any
the game,
score.
do what you got to do. It's
If any score, they say you're not allowed to do that. Screw that. You're trying to get on base and get a hit. Like, who are you to tell me I can't bunt? Here's another one. Bunting against the shift. They shift their whole team, and then people bunt, and the next guy gets hit because you bunted against it. Don't shift your team. Like, you're playing against the team. It's a strategic game, baseball. Baseball's very strategy-based, where people don't realize it's a game of inches. I mean, literally, the pitch could miss by an inch off your bat. It makes it a pop-up to a ground ball. These little things. And to me, that people get hit or games get there's like bean balls and there's people charging mounds, and it's ridiculous. Jordan, what are your thoughts?
I personally think that if they're really gonna, I think they should kind of like be more commit to the direction they're going. I agree with Clax. If they're really gonna, act this way, then yeah, I think there should be a 10-run rule. If you can't, get under a 10-run lead after when we hit the 7th inning, call it.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? If you're really gonna act like that, let's just commit to it, or just play ball and just play better.
Either get strict on these unwritten rules and start punishing people, or don't and say that they're fine. It's got to be one way or the other. I agree, John. These little 2 or 3 game suspensions they're irrelevant to me. They don't do anything. Either suspend them or don't. Joe Kelly got a suspension of 8 games. It sent a message through baseball. We're still talking about it today because it was a harsh penalty. It was a message sent by baseball to the Dodgers, to everyone facing the Astros, which I know you don't agree with, but that was the message that was sent, is we don't want this to happen. Now, a 2-game suspension doesn't send that message. It says, okay, here you go, slap on the wrist, we'll move on. One last thing. I love records. We had a record this weekend. 6 home runs in one series, Jose Abreu. Cuban slugger, does not get the attention he deserves, I feel like, in Chicago. He hits 30-plus home runs every year since being in the majors. Came in the mid-20s. 6 home runs in one series against the Cubs, pretty big deal. Some big names. There's 5 other players that have done it. You might have heard of them. Barry Bonds, usual suspect. Alex Rodriguez, usual suspect. Sean Green, greatest Jewish outfielder of all time, until he came to the Mets, and then he didn't do very well. And there's one more guy. He played on the Dodgers. He played on the Cubs. John, what Dodger is this? He's a first baseman. I believe he came from either Korea or Japan, but I want to say Korea.
Oh, I do know that dude.
Ooh, literally have no idea.
He was your
I do know that dude.
His name is Heap Sop Choi.
Yeah.
Heap Sop Choi. How do you forget Heap Sop Choi? What a stud.
His face just he was on the Cubs.
Did he have that really wide batting stance? Did he his legs were really far apart?
Sure did.
Okay.
And he would swing his whole body almost like Ichiro when he would swing too. He was supposed to be a power hitter. He's a big first baseman. He ended up being a slap singles hitter. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, John, I heard you had a little stat you wanted to talk to us about too before we move on to our NFL debate here.
Well, speaking of records, so when we talked about our first ballot Hall of Fame guys, Jordan really threw some shade about Clayton Kershaw not making it. And I liked that Clayton Kershaw made it against the Mariners this past week. He became the 2nd highest strikeout pitcher in Dodgers history. So very proud about that. Who's
number one? Drysdale? Who's number 1? Drysdale?
No, he passed Drysdale. Sutton's number 1.
And okay.
So Clayton Kershaw is 203 pitches away from passing him, which is is completely doable within the next 2 seasons, I believe. 2020 kind of sucks for his stat rates and how that's going to go.
My question is, are you saying he's an all-time great Dodger? Because you're giving us all the stats against other Dodgers.
No, I mean, I'm saying that Jordan was wrong in saying that he shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Rings. That's all I care about.
And I'm glad that he.
I mean, you're giving us.
Yeah,
you're not telling us that he passed someone so and so for all-time strikeout list. He's number 15 now on the all-time. Again, you're just telling us against the Dodgers. So yeah, he is an all-time great Dodgers pitcher. I don't think any of us are debating that. You want to? So where's Koufax on that list? Probably like 4 or 5, I'm assuming.
I think he's fourth. He's fourth.
So here's a funny thing. Sandy Koufax, Clax, you're an old man like me. We can go back. We never got to see Koufax pitch, but we're close, right? Koufax pitched for 10 years. Do you realize that? He had a 10-year career, and he blew out his arm, and he was just done. His first 5 years in the league, or 4 years, I should say. His first 4 years in the league, he had the highest ERA of anybody in baseball his first 4 years. Highest ERA in baseball, like almost 5. Then he got a good pitching coach, something changed, and he went from his ERA being in the high 4s down to his ERA being in the high 1s and became the most dominant pitcher over a 6-year span. Won multiple Cy Youngs, he was what he was, and that was it. I hate to say it, but I think Sandy Koufax is an overrated pitcher in history. People put him as his top 5 pitcher of all time. He really only had 6 good seasons. If you look at his stats, go look that up, John, one day. I don't think he's a top 5 Dodgers pitcher of all time. It's crazy. Crazy to think that, but
A great Jewish pitcher, though.
I was going to say might be the best lefty Jew of all time.
Well, also what I'm going to say, I guarantee Clayton Kershaw is going to break the record for Dodger strikeout record history.
Okay.
Especially in the time frame. So
Clayton Kershaw, Dodgers lore. Who is got the greater admiration, the greater person for Dodgers fans and the Dodgers organization? Clayton Kershaw, Fernando Valenzuela.
Right now,
great
it's
pitcher.
Kershaw.
Well, I'm not saying today who's playing. I'm saying if you're saying Dodgers great, we want to say who's a greater pitcher for our franchise, Fernando Valenzuela or Clayton Kershaw. I would say Valenzuela. I would say Fernando Mania took over that town more than Kershaw ever did. He brought a ring to that team, by the way. Jordan could say, we like rings. He won Cy Young. He won Rookie of the Year. He's got the stats. He's got the strikeouts. He doesn't have the longevity. I'll give you that. But what he did in a 6-year span, I think will be – unless Kershaw wins a ring, he'll never be better than Valenzuela in that organization, in my opinion.
That's true, and they're both great. And just what I want to finish on with that is John Sutton has 14 years as a Dodger, so Clayton Kershaw is in his 12th year. So he has basically 2 seasons to break that record, which I think he can.
So he's Don Sutton, is what you're saying. So he's basically Don Sutton. But Don Sutton has rings.
No, I'm saying
Don Sutton has rings.
Yeah, and Clayton will this year as well.
No, he's not. Let's transition, Jordan. I know Jordan does not want to hear this anymore. He's getting angry. I see smoke coming out of his ears, and Jordan doesn't get angry that often. That's usually for me and Clax. Let's get right into it. NFL. Start with quarterbacks. What we're going to do right now for you guys is we're going to give you a fired up 4. Fired up 4 here. We're going to go with top 4 going into this season. Who are going to be the top 4 at their position when this season ends? We're going to do QBs, running backs, wide receivers, defensemen, and then the best 4 teams, in our opinion, that are going to basically be the final 4. And they could be all 4 from the AFC or NFC for all I care. Joey Clax, do you want to start us off on the QBs?
Sure. Am I giving you all 4?
I want your top 2 because I think the top 2 are going to be the same for everybody. Who are your top 2?
I mean, that's just give you everybody's top 2 are Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes.
Jonathan, same for you?
I will say they're going to be the top 2 quarterbacks on the best teams. I'm going to say
That's not my question.
Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I was already wrong, and I know Jordan's going to be different too. So, Jordan, go Wilson and who?
No, I have Pat Mahomes, then Russell Wilson.
Pat Mahomes and Russell Wilson.
I just realized we're back to the Lamar Jackson debate.
There you are. There we are. And then, I got Mahomes and Jackson. And so who are your next 2, Clax?
Russell Wilson.
Does everyone have Russell Wilson? You, John, you got Russell Wilson next? You don't have him in your top 4?
Nope.
He's a Cardinals fan, right?
I can't wait to get to that.
No, I'm not a Cardinals fan.
Okay. All right.
So I have Mahomes, Rodgers. I have Mahomes, Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and Drew Brees.
Ooh, okay.
Russell Wilson is 5th on my list.
When we don't have a fifth, we don't do 5 in here. It's the fired up 4.
I
Fired up.
wanted to make Jordan feel better.
No,
but
Jordan does
that-
not feel better about any of that right now. I can tell you right now, he's not feeling better. He's not in your top 4. Jordan does not feel good. Clax, who rounds out your 4 with Wilson?
And just because it makes me sick to say it, because we're talking about how this season, this COVID laden season is going to end. Tom Brady.
I love it.
It's not bad. Not a bad choice. I mean,
I love it. I love it. You know who my 4
Yards, touchdowns. Tom Brady.
All right. Jordan, who rounds out your top 4?
I
Look at that
have,
smile. I want to see who he's coming with here.
I got Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson. I really wanted to say Lamar, but I just don't see
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers.
You don't got the MVP.
Didn't even make the
I'm saying
list.
those 3. Yeah.
Didn't even make the list.
Oh,
Guy,
oh,
what's
John,
Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson?
No. Deshaun Watson is in my top 4 as well.
I understand that, but
Mahomes,
Lamar Jackson
Jackson.
doesn't even make the list.
No, that's ridiculous. He's the MVP, and
He did great, but now we have film on him. Sorry, guy. We
okay.
have film now.
Listen, if I had a 5th, Deshaun was my 5th, but we don't do a 5.
Lamar's my 5th, but we don't do a 5.
Oh wow.
I guess Aaron Rodgers would be my 5th if we had a 5th too. We're talking about 5th, but we don't do 5ths on this show. I told you. Let's kick it to running backs. Jordan,
Hold on. What was your 4?
Mahomes, Jackson, Wilson, Watson.
Okay, nice.
We're not very far off, but
Right, no.
I couldn't leave out the reigning MVP who's been getting better, and I said should be the number 1 pick the year he was drafted. I wish we had the show going so I could have tape of that, but anyone who knows me back then remembers me saying that, so all you fans out, you know what I'm saying. Running backs, Jordan, give me your top 2 right now. Actually, no, I want your 4. I want all 4 in a row, Jordan. I'm not going 2 for running backs. I want 4 because these lists are going to be really off. I know we're not going to be the same. Most important, I'm curious, who's your number 1?
Of course you want to hear it. Saquon.
Beautiful. Continue.
Yeah, I know you like to hear that.
Wait, you talking
Same
about?
division?
Wait. You talking about this guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest quads in town, baby.
I have Saquon 1, same division, Zeke 2, McCaffrey 3, Derrick Henry 4.
That's it.
I really wanted
That's it.
Lamar. I
That's it.
couldn't do
No, I don't
Lamar.
care. You got 4. That's
Couldn't
your
do
4.
Lamar.
John, are you any different on your list from his 4?
I have a couple different. Yeah.
Who's your number 1?
So it was a tie between Saquon and McCaffrey.
No ties. Your number 1.
I'm gonna go with Barkley.
Why do you guys say
Number
that
1.
with such remorse?
McCaffrey.
Why do you say it with such disgust? Like,
Just stop getting your feeling hurt and shut up and listen. Let me get my list out. If Kamara comes back completely healthy, Kamara's my number 3. And then I have Elliott number 4.
Clax, where are you at?
McCaffrey 1, Saquon 2, Derrick Henry 3, and
So is Zeke Elliott on your list?
yeah, Zeke 4.
So our lists are actually pretty similar because I got Saquon, then I got McCaffrey, then I got Zeke. And Zeke is 3 because their offensive line is always so good, honestly. I think if you put him on another team, I don't think he'd be as good as he has been. I think he's good, don't get me wrong. Maybe 5 or 6 otherwise, but he's 3 because that team is still going to be really good.
Who, Zeke?
Yeah. So I think he's going to put up numbers. He's going to get his touchdowns. He'll be good. And then my 4th was it was a coin flip between Kamara and between Henry. And,
Yeah, right.
And I think Henry riding off last year and what that team is, the way that they're built and the way they're going to run their offense, I think Henry's going to put up the bigger numbers.
How could
And we
you
don't know
not?
how healthy Kamara is going to be. That's like mine is based on like Kamara being healthy, which is Kamara being healthy, which is in football, it's a lot. Like it's a toss up.
Kamara catches.
But
That's the difference. You get a lot of.
How many 200-yard games did Kamara have last season? None.
Not very many that I remember.
How many in his career?
Not a
I don't know why you're comparing the two.
Drew Brees in the Saints offense is the main reason because of what he does in the passing game. Kind of, he becomes that weapon, and they don't have Ingram as the second running back, so he becomes more of a target. But no, I'm with you. I think Henry proved last year he's a top 4 running back.
I mean,
But the Saints also, they have Michael Thomas, and they picked up another wide receiver, didn't they?
Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders.
Slipping my – maybe, yeah. So there's more options too. That lets Kamara kind of have more options. So we'll see it. I don't know. It's going to be good if they play.
All right, wide receivers. Top 4. Are we going to all agree, speaking of Saints, Michael Thomas, number 1? No? Yes?
yeah.
No.
Just 2.
Oh, he's 2.
Number 2.
Fox, you got him as 1?
I got him as 1, yeah.
I got him as 1 as well. When you have 149 catches in a season, you're pretty good. But, okay.
I'm going to the Hall of Fame a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, I got him as
Yeah, I
1.
recall. John, I want to hear your list, I guess. Who's your number
My number 1, who's going to outperform what he did last year, is Mr. Michael Evans.
Oh, going back to
Because he has
Whoa.
Tom Brady now throwing to him. Yep.
But Tom Brady's not on your quarterback list. I love John, I love you.
I know. And when you said that, I knew there was going to be some conflict there.
You think?
But I have Mike Evans.
I'm looking forward to playing fantasy football
So
with
I
John.
have
So you got Mike Evans,
Mike,
who might not even be the number 1 receiver on his own team, which could be Godwin, as we discussed, I think, last week, right?
Big Gronk.
And then throwing Gronk making his catches in there. Okay. You got Evans as the number 1 receiver in the league. You got
Michael Thomas second,
Okay.
Hopkins third, Tyreek Hill fourth.
Whoa! Hot take, Jordan. I feel like you want to jump in here, Jordan. Go for it. Well, where do you disagree? You said you have a different number 1 as well, huh?
And 2. But Julio Jones is the best receiver in the league.
He's going to be the number 1 receiver this year in 2020. He's going to be the number 1 guy. When we say who has the best year, the best stats, the best everything, you think Julio Jones at the end of this year is going to be the best guy, the number 1 guy. Because he hasn't been the last –
When you put it like that, no, but he is the best receiver in the
I
league.
didn't say who's got the most skills and who's the biggest freak of a receiver. That's
No, you said who's the best. He's the best.
In 2020, who is going to be the best receiver? Meaning he's going to be the best. He's going to have the numbers. He's going to have the stats. He's going to be the MVP of wide receivers.
The reason why this won't happen
Julio Jones
is
with
if
the hit last
Antonio
year?
Brown is able to play this whole year. But if Antonio Brown's not playing, I'm saying Julio Jones, then I'm saying Hopkins, then I'm saying Michael Thomas, then Odell. I refuse to think that the Browns are going to do what they did last year. I'm not going to assume it. I'm not going to know.
Well,
Baker Mayfield is going to throw me the ball.
I'm not hating on your list. I'll be very honest with you. I mean, I've got 3 of the same 4 people as you. I just can't put Julio Jones number 1 because he just hasn't done it been the number 1 receiver at the end of a season. He's been the most skilled person, maybe the guy you'd want in a game if you could, but he's not. He gets hurt. He doesn't play full seasons. Matt Ryan has his off games. It just never comes together to me to him. I think he's got potential. He's a top receiver for sure, but I don't think 2022, I personally don't think so. That's just me. What do I know? Joey Clax, who do you have in your top 4? Thomas is first. We know that.
Michael Thomas. Devontae Adams. I don't know why we're not mentioning him in the slightest bit. That doesn't really make any sense to me why we just don't talk about him at all. That's really, really weird. We can't say Antonio Brown?
Why not? Of course you could say Antonio Brown.
No, I'm not going to say Antonio Brown.
If you didn't put him in the top 4, I would have been very disappointed. I'm going to be very honest with you.
DeAndre Hopkins, which is hard for me to say, but I do think.
Do you understand how good Kyler Murray is going to be this
year? I do. It's just it's hard. It's hard for me to envision, but it's going to happen. Now this was hard for it was hard for me to. I wanted to put Julio Jones here. I really wanted to put Julio Jones here. I'm going to upset a lot of people here.
Here we go.
DJ Chark.
Oh my gosh.
No, Julio Jones.
SB said what? So my list is pretty similar to Jordan's list, -1. I've got a different order. I've got Thomas as my number 1. I've got Hopkins as my number 2.
Okay, we have the same 2.
Now, here's 2 guys that I think are underrated, believe it or not. The first guy, who's my number 3, used to be overrated, and now he's underrated. Odell Beckham. He's not even on people's top 10 lists right now, top receivers, which is just funny.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Yes, Baker Mayfield.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just put Odell number 2?
No, I put him number 3.
Okay, that's weird because you're just making sure you know Baker's throwing him the ball.
I do. Baker's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. Remember?
Okay. Can I say?
Whoa, what?
Wow.
He wasn't in your top 4, so you can't say shit like that.
Yeah. I definitely.
Baker Mayfield. Beep.
Let's see what he does with this offense and a new coach. There's no more Freddie Kitchens. Odell's going to be a stud. He's not going to get double teamed. He has an oblique that doesn't need surgery. Let's see what he does out there. The dancing, he might start dabbing. Who knows what he's going to do?
Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I said Pro Bowl, Baker Mayfield, because the way I look at it is this way. The best player is going to be in the Super Bowl, so that's one quarterback that's going to drop off the Pro Bowl list. So now he could be the 4th best in the division. Then there's going to be one guy who's been there for so long, maybe like a Tom Brady, is like, I don't want to go to the Pro Bowl. Then he could fit in as like a 5th or 6th replacement. Baker Mayfield, replacement Pro Bowler. But no, Odell Beckham's my number 3. And then here's my other underrated wide receiver. They just talk about him as a fast receiver. He's fast. No, he's an amazing hands. It's Tyreek Hill. And yes, he has an amazing quarterback throwing to him, which is going to make his stats even better. Honestly, that's why I put him over Julio Jones, who would have been my number 4. That. I think what he's going to do with that offense compared to what Julio's going to do with Matt Ryan, and if they play a 16-game season, I don't think. Yeah, that's why. Now, you put Julio on that team? Julio's my number 1 if he's on the Chiefs in the league. Like, no doubt about it. You put Julio on Baltimore, he's my number 1. Julio on the Falcons just doesn't do it for me as a number 1. Clax?
So I'm a little confused here. So all 3 of you guys had Aaron Rodgers on your list?
Yes.
You didn't?
No, I had Mahomes, Jackson, Wilson, Watson.
Okay. Because I'm just wondering who he's throwing a ball to.
Because Rodgers would have rounded out my top 5 most likely. My top.
Yeah. Yeah, Devontae Adams I was close to choosing him. And honestly, my 4th pick, Breeze, I probably should have alternated with Tom Brady for my wide receiver pick with Evans. But I just think Breeze is going to be more solid. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between Breeze.
Is Breeze going to get hurt?
And Tom Brady to me.
Breeze is
absolutely Breeze is getting hurt. Absolutely.
And the biggest advantage Breeze has had the last few years over Brady, both being old quarterbacks, is Breeze played 8 games in a dome, and Brady played 8 games in New England. And as an old quarterback with a noodle arm, it's a lot harder to throw in the cold, windy weather than it is to throw indoors. He got out of that. He's playing in Tampa for 8 games now. He's going to have a little humidity, but other than that, he's going to be fine. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to be a little better, Jordan. What do you think?
Well, that is true. He will have 8 games in Tampa Bay, but he also will have 2 games in a dome automatically with
in addition to his 8 games.
Exactly. So I mean, it still helps, but I mean, Breeze,
What two old men?
He has Chintel Kamara, and he has Mr. BYU behind him. So
I mean, what? Hey, he's got Mr. Crab Legs behind him too.
they're going to lose. Yes, they do. They're going to lose regardless. They're not making the NFC Championship. They're going to flop like they always do. Brees is getting old, and he needs to call it quits while he's on a positive note.
Don't forget about the 2 games in the Falcons Dome and the 2 games in Carolina.
You guess what I'm saying? Yeah.
He did what every good old man from the Northeast does. He went and hibernated down to Florida. He knows what he's doing. It's how old people stay young. And I think
Gronk and LaShawn McCoy with him.
Yeah, I'm not so fond of McCoy, but I think Gronk's going to be pretty good. And I think he's going to miss 4 games too, Gronk. But it doesn't matter because when he plays 12, that's all they're going to need in playoff games out of him. I'm not impressed by Drew Brees' arm last year. I'll be very honest. He was having trouble getting the ball down the field. This is his last year, without a doubt, in my opinion, Brees' last year. I don't think he's making it through the whole year. I think he's going to get hurt again. I think not a fluke injury, but I just think it's time.
It's going to be prettier than Peyton Manning, though, his last year.
Yeah, that was well. It's not prettier unless he wins a ring like Peyton Manning. It doesn't matter how ugly you are. You come on, Mr. Chip. You leave with a ring, you're still pretty. You're pretty when you leave with a ring.
No.
Mm-hmm. You know why? Because else we'd be like, Eli Manning has more rings than you. But no, we can't say that right now because he left with a chip. Eli's still the best Manning in the family other than Cooper. All right. Defensive players. Jordan, I want you to start this off.
Okay.
It's a pretty broad one, I know. But, who are the 4 teams?
Whoa. Hold on. Defensive players?
No, your D-linemen that we were talking about.
Okay, thank goodness. All right, because I did D-line.
I did linebackers and D-line.
Okay, that's okay. You could throw them in there too.
So I'm staring at my list right now. I'm gonna switch up to looking at it right now. Shaquille Barrett. He led the league in sacks last year, and now with Bruce Arians, I believe more into the system.
What team did Shaquille Barrett play for last year? Was he on?
Tampa Bay.
He was on Tampa Bay last year?
19 and a half sacks. I'm going to have him number 1 still. And I'm going to put – I don't really like Aaron Donald like that like I used to. So hold on. Chandler Jones 2, Aaron Donald 3. And I wish I had a coin to flip. I'm just going to say number 4, Bosa.
That's what I put on my list. Number 4, I just wrote Bosa. You can pick which one you want.
No.
You can't do that. That's mine. That was my move. Oh, I should have put first.
I just put Bosa.
That's exactly what I did. Bosa.
My personal style is I like a Joey Bosa personally, but then when I stopped and thought about Nick Bosa, when he
I like San Francisco Bosa better.
Then stiff armed him, and then so I put Bosa's 4.
Joey Clax, what do you got?
I got Darius Leonard. I didn't know. I thought the same thing. I thought we were doing linebackers, D-line.
That's fine. That's cool.
Darius Leonard.
Game changer.
Right. Same thing. Pick a Bosa. Sandwiching the entire equation. And then I got one for Jordan here, Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner would have been 1, by the way, if I knew linebackers. Just saying.
John, where are you at on your list?
Literally all those guys are on my list. Bobby Wagner's on there, Chandler Jones, Nick Bosa, Aaron Donald. The only other one that hasn't been said was TJ Watt. Besides that.
Not JJ?
No, TJ. But I would scratch TJ off that and go with Chandler Jones, Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner, and Nick Bosa.
So I got 3 of the same 4 as you right there. I got Aaron Donald because I still think he gets triple teamed on every player. He'd have 40 sacks. I got Chandler Jones. Green Bay, Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark was a game changer for that squad last year, and that's why that team did as well as they did on defense. And then I got Bosa as my 4th. You pick which Bosa you want. I think we're all pretty similar in our picks for defense. What about best 4 teams? Best 4 teams. I want to start with Mr. Guerrero on this one. John, give me your top 4 teams. Just 1 through 4.
Go 4 to 1.
4 to 1. Let's go 4 to 1 for Jordan. Yeah, 4 to 1.
All right, I'm gonna go Seahawks, unfortunately. 49ers, Ravens, Kansas City.
Okay. Joey Claps?
Consolation prize to the Texans.
Number 4.
Number 4. Niners. Number 3. Packers. Number 2, the Chiefs. Number 1.
The
Say it
Jets.
for me, Jordan.
The Jets.
Las Vegas Raiders.
We lost him. Clax is gone.
Uh,
Who's your number 1, Clax?
I want Jordan to say it for me. Who's my number 1?
Seattle Seahawks.
No, the Baltimore Ravens.
No way.
The Super Bowl champion, COVID elite Baltimore Ravens.
The Earl Thomas-less Ravens.
You ready for my list here?
You heard it here first. The Ravens win the Super Bowl.
Number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 3, Seattle Seahawks. Number 2, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And number 1, the Chiefs. It seems pretty obvious to me. I don't know. I might be wrong, but that would be very rare if that was the case. No, just kidding. I think that the Bucs are going to win 11 games, maybe 12 games. I think the Seahawks are going to be in the same boat. I think the 49ers are going to fall off. I think the Cardinals are going to win games in that division, which is going to take away from the Niners and the Rams. But I think the Seahawks are still going to fight on top as a 12-4 team, 11-5 at the worst. I think there's a bunch of 9-win teams in that division, though. I think it's going to be by far the best division in football is going to be that NFC West for sure. I don't know what you guys think. What do you think is going to be the toughest division in football?
Definitely the NFC West.
NFC West?
NFC West is the best division. NFC East would be the toughest. I mean, it's always like a little toilet bowl dogfight over there.
Yeah, who can win 7 games this year for the division? Woohoo! NFC East. All right, well, we made it through. Jordan, what's your final thoughts today?
Before that, I need to do my 4 teams.
You didn't give me your 4?
I did not.
You skipped them.
I think
Man, Clax just went right after you with the Ravens. I apologize. Wow.
Forget.
Go number 4, Jordan.
I have the Ravens at 4. I have my Seahawks at 3.
Oof.
Me too.
I have the Niners at 2 and the Chiefs at 1. We beat the Niners, though, so I can handle the Chiefs,
Question, who's leading the Ravens to that number 4 in the league? Is it led by Mark Ingram, the running back? Or is it
Calais Campbell.
Oh, it's led by the defensive lineman. That's not by their quarterback. Okay, just checking. Not Lamar Jackson. Nothing to do with it. Okay, just checking.
It'll be Lamar
They're
Jackson.
the number 4 team in football, but their quarterback's not even going to be number 4.
That is correct. The running game's ridiculous, but
But the running game is led by him with 1,000 yards.
Lamar Jackson, 1,200 yards last year.
Yeah, is that the running game? Is that not important?
You're absolutely correct, but I'm sorry, he's not going to do better this year.
No, he's going to rush for 750 yards and win the Super Bowl.
I like that.
Hot take. John, give me your final thought for this week.
I'm going to repeat this again because it's been freaking exhausting. Electronic strike zone in the MLB. I will repeat this every week until it happens. I'm sick and tired of watching players just look at balls that are outside the plate and then look at the ump, and the ump is like, what? Like, we need to fix this problem, and I'm going to say it every week until it gets fixed. Electronic strike zone needs to happen yesterday.
How about umpire responsibility? Like, they should get graded. And if they don't do a good job, they should not be allowed to go to the next game or get sent to the minors like a player. If you go 0 for 30, you're going to get sent down. If you're an umpire and you make 30 mistakes, you should get sent down.
We have the technology to not even do that. They can have their job and stand back there and make on-field calls, but the strike zone should be not an arguable thing. It's a mathematical thing. If the ball touches the box, we're way more advanced than we were a few years ago in that box. There's no excuse for it anymore. It's going to be my final thought every week until it changes.
No, it's not changing. So you're going to have to come up with a new final thought next week. Joey Clarks, you're up. What do you have to say?
That was a lot of balls and box talk. There was my final thought is on the Yankees-Mets Subway Series, and there wasn't one. Thank you, COVID. That's my final thought. Thanks, COVID. Thanks for taking another one from us.
Jordan?
So last week I gave you guys a nice little Russell Wilson stat. I got another one for you. Since 2012, when he got drafted, no QB has completed a pass more than 25 yards than Russell Wilson, 128.
It's a good one. I like that one. I like these stats. Keep throwing these stats at me.
Okay, I got one more for you.
Give me another one.
This will be his 8th year. He's been to the postseason 7 of those 8 years. Of those 7 postseason years, this is why I'm so confident as a Seahawk fan. Postseason 7 years, of those 7 years, 6 of those 7, he has not had a losing postseason record. I'm confident. We're going to win at least one game. At least one.
Okay. I mean, that's probably better feeling than
I feel like it took him longer to get to the postseason with Sierra than it did with the Seahawks.
Oh, my gosh. And then meanwhile, his son's name Win. Win Wilson?
It's a terrible name. Terrible name.
Great name.
Terrible name.
He's confident.
You can be confident and still name your kids dumbass names.
That is a great name.
Speaking of great names, we talked last week about your boy Mookie Betts. And I've been constantly telling you he is not the best Mookie that baseball has ever seen. By far, it's Mookie Wilson. And Mookie Wilson has a quote. And his quote was, "When I'm in a slump, I comfort myself by saying, if I believe in dinosaurs, then somewhere they must be believing in me. And if they believe in me, then I can believe in me. Then I can bust out." And, I mean, he snorted a lot of cocaine. This is from the 1986 Mets, don't get me wrong. But shout out to Mookie Wilson. Mookie, we're going to get you on the show sooner than later, and you're going to let us know why you are the greatest Mookie in the history of baseball. Mookie Blaylock in basketball is definitely a close second in Mookie sports. Not going to lie, Jordan. I know you were going to probably come up with a little Mookie Blaylock, but that's all I got. Gentlemen, as always, great show. We'll see you guys next week. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Anchor, hashtag Where's Jeff Chow. I mean, so many things. Clax, you have any hashtags you want to throw out before we leave?
No, but where is Jeff Chow?
Where is Jeff Chow? Do you think we could get a Jeff Chow appearance one day?
I don't know. Let's.
Is he alive? Jeff!